There are moments in football when the behind-the-scenes hides stories that seem straight out of a movie script. Whispers in private meetings, phone calls happening in the dead of night, and negotiations that can change the fate of entire clubs in a matter of hours. It is in this tense and expectant environment that a storyline involving Newcastle United, Liverpool, and a name set to ignite the next transfer window emerges. But what is truly at stake goes far beyond a simple signing. Before revealing the core of this story, I want to take a moment to remind those who follow Newcastle closely, subscribe to the channel. Here you will always find hot news, deep analysis, and of course, stories that go far beyond the headlines. Your subscription helps the channel grow and ensures you won't miss any behind-the-scenes action at St. James Park. While many focus solely on results on the pitch, an equally fierce battle is taking place off it. It is there, in the boardrooms, that directors, agents, and managers decide who arrives, who leaves, and which clubs come out stronger. Among these movements, Newcastle and Liverpool are about to cross paths once again, reigniting memories of recent rivalries and opening the stage for what could be called sporting revenge. In recent weeks, rumours have been circulating intensely. Crystal Palace, a club that has long relied on the solidity of its defence, now appears to be at a crossroads. Captain Mark Guehi, one of England's most promising centre-backs, could be approaching his final months in the Eagles' shirt. According to Sky Sports, the board already admits it will be very difficult to keep him until next summer. The question hanging in the air is, where will Guehi end up? And here comes the big reveal. Newcastle United, who had shown interest in the defender in previous seasons, is back on the radar. What makes this story even more fascinating is that Liverpool, a direct Premier League rival, had prepared a £35 million investment to secure the signing but saw the deal collapse at the very last moment. Now, the Magpies could exploit this gap to land a key reinforcement while simultaneously enjoying a form of revenge after the Alexander Isak saga. It is worth remembering that last year, Newcastle offered close to £60 million for the defender, but the proposals were rejected. Today, the scenario is different. With Guehi entering the final stretch of his contract and Palace having little room for maneuver, the price has dropped drastically. This creates a rare opportunity for clubs seeking to strengthen their defence while directly impacting the morale of their rivals. For Newcastle, this would not just be a signing, it would be a clear message to Liverpool. If you enjoy these behind-the-scenes stories, where every detail can change the course of an entire season, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Your support is crucial for us to keep bringing this exclusive content to Magpies fans. On Liverpool's side, manager Arne Slot publicly acknowledged that the club came close to signing Mark Guehi in an interview following the collapse of the deal. He said, "It would be a bit ridiculous to deny that we were close to signing Guehi. That's so obvious. But these things happen. We would have liked to sign him, of course." Slot made it clear that the door is not closed and that interest in the defender could be renewed soon. Crystal Palace, meanwhile, found themselves in a tricky situation. Guehi's departure only didn't happen because the club could not secure a replacement of equal quality. Igor Julio was the chosen player, but he ultimately opted for West Ham United at the last minute. This setback led the board to block their captain's transfer, even though they knew they were merely delaying an inevitable decision. In this scenario, Newcastle must decide whether to renew the concrete approach they had in the past. Sources linked to the club, according to Sky Sports, indicate that interest exists, but recent priorities have focused on other profiles, such as Giorgio Scalvini and Malik Theo. Even so, the possibility of a strategic move to steal Liverpool's target is still on the table. Here's an important thought for supporters. Modern football isn't just about goals and victories on the pitch, it's also about battles off it. Every signing, every player gained or lost can affect a squad's morale and even alter the trajectory of a season. For Newcastle, winning this battle would be more than securing a top defender. It would reaffirm their position among the Premier League's giants. I'd like to invite you once again to subscribe to the channel. Beyond supporting our work, you'll always be one step ahead, knowing first about moves that could shape Newcastle United's future. Palace manager Oliver Glasner also stepped in to clarify the rumours circulating at the time of the negotiations. Some claimed he had threatened to quit if Guehi was sold, but Glasner categorically denied this. "This is the last time I want to talk about it. I never threatened to leave the club. Never. It was just a sporting discussion, and he chose against the money and in favour of Crystal Palace's sporting perspective." Great credit to the chairman. These words show how Palace finds itself in a dilemma. On one hand, there's the desire to keep a key team member. On the other, the inevitability of losing the player, whether in January or next summer, when he can freely choose his destination. In this context, Newcastle's decision to act or not could define the narrative of the next transfer window. What makes this story even more intriguing is the possibility of a sporting heist. Imagine the scene. Liverpool believes a deal is in place, but Newcastle swoops in at the last moment and secures Guehi, turning their rivals' frustration into fuel for their own rise. For supporters, this would be seen as a symbolic moment of revenge, especially after the controversies surrounding Alexander Isak, which also involved direct clashes between the two clubs. This is the essence of football, rivalries that transcend the pitch, extending into the behind the scenes of negotiations. Mark Guehi's future is still open, but one thing is certain. The next chapter of this saga promises to be electrifying, so if you don't want to miss a single detail of this twist-filled story, make sure to subscribe to the channel now. Here you'll follow every step of this battle and understand how it could directly impact Newcastle United's destiny.